be live?
It should be live.
Yeah.
Should be able to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Well.
Okay.
I have all my sound off.
Okay, but yeah, okay.
No, let
me do something.
Let me use my phone.
Hang on a second. Okay.
Is there a delay?
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 4 seconds. Okay. Hey, I'm live. Waiting for people now.
Let me give you a thumbs up. Can you give me a blue dress?
Oops. I'm close to dockable window. Let me I got it right. Let me see what's going on here. And keep it quiet here so I can see what's going on. Three-second delay. Okay. And when I do my hand up, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 4 seconds.
Okay.
Seen the message yet?
I
You didn't. There it is.
And I need a new dress. And do your links. Yeah, I don't want to be a manager. I'm just a standard. Because I don't even.
There you go. It just depends on who shows up here.
Who you're watching. So
yeah.
You and me and someone else. You and me.
Say hi if you're here.
It tells me what I can do here. Okay. You trust me, please.
Yeah, of course I trust you. I'll sleep next to you. I have to. Well, don't like this is going over too damn good, does it? 5 people watching. There's only 2 people interacting.
5 people watching. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Hey. I have to look at the camera over there. Yeah. If I look at
well, we're just waiting for everybody to get in here. I'm going to be talking about this sun fusion and... Hey, what's up, Seeking Truth? Got some stuff to carry on about with that stuff I've been talking about with the loss of gravity and everything else. I actually got some stuff done with AI and kind of pulled it all together. So hopefully some people will show up here, and when y'all get here, say hey and let me know you're here. I bet it's cold. The last few days, this first days, we got above 0 here. Well, we've been staying close to 0, but with the wind chill, it just now got above zero today. It's really cold. I got my daughters live in Tennessee, and they just got like 8 or 10 inches of snow overnight last night, and so they're kind of going through it and everything like that. How many people in here? 4 watching, 5 watching. Okay, y'all say hey. If y'all get in here, say hi or something. Let me know. So I want to ask everybody something here. I got a couple of notes. I wrote a script, guys. Believe it or not, I finally broke down and wrote a script, kind of like all the other big channels do. So if you see me reading, it's not that something that somebody else wrote. It's something I put together myself. So I'm going to ask something, get everybody started. When's the last time any of y'all have experienced deja vu or something similar, even in a dream or a waking state? When's the last time you have experienced something like a deja vu thing going on? I'm just asking this one right now, and just going into other stuff later on. Yeah, the mail has really slowed down, so if anybody's getting anything shipped, expect quite a bit of delays. Not only from the snow and the weather, but there's other internal things going on that's keeping packages from being delivered. I'm not sure exactly where it's from, what's going on with it, but we've noticed it for over 2 months now, almost 3 months now, that packages are really slowed down being shipped. Now, this could be something to do with the trucking companies that handle packaging, or something else, but I'm not really sure exactly. Yeah, not for a long time. So anyway, guys, there's something going on with that, and I'm kind of getting an idea of what's going, kind of pinpointing things. I'm looking at my notes real quick. Sorry. Y'all let me know you're here. Give a thumbs up, like, and all that. Oh yeah, one thing, guys. It's not showing up on here. I don't know why. My thingy at the bottom, a scrolling thingy. Oh, it's not. There it is. Okay, now it is. Right. Yeah, my thumbs up there, and my flag's there. Okay, that's all good. Now it's there. Ah, cool. Y'all notice at the bottom I got a scrolling text here. Help support my channel if y'all can. Send $1 or a couple dollars, $5, whatever. It's my PayPal link is on the thing, and on my other videos I've been leaving links for it. Yeah, we've already checked our 30-day weather for here, Seeking Truth, and we're not going to get really a fall until the end of February, first part of March. In fact, between now and the last part of February, well, in fact, the second week of February to the end, we're supposed to get over a foot of snow more coming in, and most of it's going to be in like 3 or 4 days. So the weather thing's going on. Well, speaking of which, about the weather, we have some information on it a little bit, and I'm going to go into it a little bit later on another video. But Anna found proof that this is actually quasi-proof, let's put it that way. But Anna pinpointed where this weather pattern came from, and she found links to it that it's something in the Pacific Ocean, both North and South, North Pacific and South Pacific Ocean, that there's something going on that's causing these weather anomalies that we've been hitting the last few months. And most of it started up after the attack or the invasion, whatever you want to call it, on Venezuela. So I'm going to try to pinpoint this and connect it and everything with what's going on in Venezuela, Cuba, and the new weather patterns that we're experiencing here in the United States for the last few weeks. So there is a connection, believe it or not. Have a good time. Oh yeah, one other thing. If you got them, smoke them. Right there. Well, okay, I'm smoking a cigarette. Yeah, you smoke a cigarette. I should say. 5 people watch.
Wait,
Come on, people, y'all get in here.
2 left.
Yeah.
All right.
The reason I'm asking about this deja vu stuff, guys, is I found a connection to the makeup of the universe in this, I do believe. And has to do with timelines in the universe and our complete misunderstanding of what everything is. Hi, Chav. Chavity. So there is some connection to this. And so if you've experienced deja vu, leave a comment, leave a like. Also, please leave a like, guys. I appreciate it very much. Rick,
Yeah.
what's up? Been a long time since I've seen you. The mark is the good or the bad?
The mark is the good.
Good.
Very good.
We're going to do the good. Hey, Pollyanna. Y'all come on in here a little bit, guys. They got some really cool stuff I've been checking into and digging it and everything. Like I say, Anna did find a connection to what's going on with the weather and weather wars. So, and this deja vu thing actually goes into, I think, a misunderstanding of what the universe is and everything. And I'm working more on that. But anyway, let me go ahead and get started with a little bit, guys. So, let me get my notes here. Intro. Where you did it. I'm going to be talking about the sun's fusion reactions, guys. It's losing mass. I've been saying for a long number of years that the Earth is, that the sun is dying. And it is. There's actual scientific fact proving that the sun is losing mass, losing hydrogen at an alarming, an alarming rate. So the sun is losing mass, and it's driving planetary drifts. Don't know if y'all know this, but the Earth and all the planets of the solar system is drifting by about a half inch or more each year away from the sun, and that distance is expanding or growing larger exponentially as each year goes forth. No, I haven't done any lives in a long time, Rick. It's been busy and kind of inconvenient and everything like that. But it's been difficult and everything. But anyway, we got that going on, and we also have y'all heard news about the Earth's magnetic core is weakening. In fact, we heard talk about it actually reversed. So this is all playing into part of what's going on here. Now, because the Earth's core is weakening, and we're getting more and more influence or influx of solar winds and solar protons and all that other good stuff and mean nasty stuff that we don't want, and more of it's coming in. And that's why we've been hearing probably connection to there's several orbital changes. You know, our Earth is wobbling even more and more extreme each year and everything. In fact, this recent storm could be connected to a shift in the orbital pattern or the tilt of the Earth. But also it could be weather wars. I do believe it's more of a weather war and everything like that. But anyway, we also had the rumors and actual proof of the artificial suns and artificial moons and things like that. We've even seen signs of 2 suns and 2 moons now. And I'll go ahead and refer you guys go over to Turkey UFO Report on YouTube. They really have some good images and following the pathways and what's going on with these other planets that are in our solar system now. And they are there. So, and like I talked about, the Nemesis companion, the Nemesis system is here. And Turkey UFO's got good information on that. I'm not Copernican. I'm not sure about that theory, Rick. I've never really looked in it. Behind my head, yeah. Got Trump back there. So anyway, that's there. And this is all kind of thing, guys. Remember, they told us that the Earth's magnetic core, the core of Earth, stopped and actually reversed direction. And it's going to take a while for this to catch up. And with the imminent interference by a Nemesis system that we think is real, that we have proven it's real, well, that will cause a magnetic shift in Earth's core, and therefore cause a loss of gravity, which is magnetism, guys, by the way. So anyway, that's going to be happening around August 12th, 2026, and they even pinpointed the time. It's going to be at 9:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, the heliocentric. Well, I'm going on the globe Earth model and heliocentric type thing. So that's basic, the most accepted theory out there, model. Anyway, now we got references that proving that this pre-flood antediluvian world was real. And remembered, oh, my page is out of order. Oh no! Oh shit, guys, hang on a second. Here, you hold that for a minute. Okay, here we go. Remembered cross cultures and reset in cataclysms like Noah's flood. Now remember, everything is a cycle, and everything goes and everything according to these cycles. And we have already proven that there is a nemesis cataclysmic event cycle that happens every approximately 4,000 years ago, and that's about the timeline of Noah's flood. And 4,000 years before that, approximately, is the words "in the beginning" first came about. But also that parallels that the first people came out from underground places at both these intervals across the world in different societies, different continents, and everything. There was always the first people on different continents. Well, that's the trick right there, Rick. I don't think it's. They say that the density is so, the pressure is so intense at the core. This is according to science, guys. I'm not going in. I don't know anything about it. And the pressure is so intense that the liquid actually forms into a solid, if you will, a sort of a condensed liquid that is so condensed that it turns into a solid, or more or less. And that's the explanation that I read about it. So whether or not that's true or not, I can't really go into. But even if it is a solid core, it's going to have to be really, really super dense to withstand that pressure, if there is any pressure. That's another story, though. That is about the inner Earth and the hollow Earth, and everything else. Anyway, guys, this isn't just random dots. It's a pattern that repeats across time. We've got records of the Younger Dryas period, which is 4,000 years before the birth of the uh, in the beginning. That's 4,000 years. So it's 12,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, and we're at that time period about right now in this cycle type thing, or disk world, or repeating cycle. So it repeats. So anyway, if anybody's new, hit the like button, all that good stuff, guys. Try to support my channel. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're up to it, I'll put my link to my, what is it called? PayPal account there if you appreciate it. I understand your thing there, Rick. I understand it too. So anyway, let's get into what we know about from science, guys. This is what strictly science says and everything. And it's not about debating whether science is right, but we're going to work off of this idea that this is what we have to work with. The sun's core is a nuclear furnace. It's fusing around 620 million metric tons of hydrogen into helium every second. That's releasing roughly 3.8 times 10 to the 26 power watts of energy each and every second. And that's a lot of power, guys, a lot of power. This goes into, guys, my theory about why we are paying for electricity when it's free. There's a big thing into that. It doesn't just give us light and heat. It heats the corona to millions of degrees, launching solar winds. And we can't really deny that solar winds there. So it's a constant stream of charged particles coming at us, carrying the sun's magnetic field across the solar system. But here's the key. Fusion converts mass to energy, which is Einstein's theory, E equals mc squared. So the sun is losing mass. This is about my idea that the sun is dying. Of course, we know this. All suns live to the fullest and then they die off. But ours is increasingly, exponentially losing mass each and every day. So the sun is losing mass about 4 million tons per second from the fusion alone, plus another 1 to 2 million from the solar winds, the ripping and tearing of the fabric of the sun being lost into space. That's around up to 6 tons a second. That's a tiny fraction of the sun's mass, but this has been going on for a long, long time, guys. It adds up. So the weaker gravity means planets slowly start spiraling away from the sun. Earth drifts about 1.5 centimeters, which is about a half inch each year. And of course, that number is growing each and every day or each and every year that it's going on. We are connected to the sun. That is true. And this is getting into something else, guys, which I'm working on an idea about deja vu and the connection of that and the energy of the universe. But think about the other thing, guys. Our whole solar system is expanding slowly but surely. As we all know, supposedly our solar system, our galaxy, our universe keeps growing and growing and growing. And I do have an idea of what is connected to that, but we'll get there eventually. So what if that's just not physics? What if it's a part of a larger cycle? Just let it sink in for a minute, guys. Have y'all noticed anything? Y'all noticed the sun being acting different and getting harsher and everything like that lately. So, make a comment about it and everything. We get into 3-body problem probably soon enough. I'm going to reach it, getting out into that. Now, Earth's magnetic field isn't some static thing, isn't it? Just a stationary thing. It's developmental, it's active, or anything like that. And it's generated from the molten outer core. This answers your question right here, Rick. It's generated in the molten outer core. The iron nickel alloy convecting like a domino, powered by about 10 to 15 terawatts of internal heat from leftover formation energy, radioactive decay, and inner core solidification. That field shields us, deflecting solar winds and cosmic rays. But as we know, guys, we've been told this and everything, that it is getting weaker and weaker and weaker each year. We're warned about it. We're told about it, saying get more and more stuff, gamma rays, X-rays, and everything else coming into our atmosphere each and every day. We're told about it, that the magnetosphere and all that other stuff is disappearing. Anyway, that 9% globally over the past 200 years, that's how much it's lost, is what they're saying, guys. Not as much as they try to scare us. The South Atlantic anomaly, that weak spot has grown massively. Nearly the size of half of Europe since 2014. That's in 10 years, guys, 11 years. It's grown twice, half the size of Europe. Paleomagnetic records from rocks and sediments show this isn't new, that this is part of a pattern, part of a cycle. They can even trace it in cycles through the soil samples. These field flips weaken dramatically every 6,000 to 12,000 years or so. This causes excursions and actually full reversals of our magnetic fields, as we've been warned about and told about over and over again that this is going to happen, and that we will actually see multiple poles or polarities places throughout the Earth during this time, up to 8 different north poles and south poles at the same time. And this often leads to big environmental shifts or catastrophic catastrophes in a lot of the cases. When it weakens, more solar wind particles get through. Of course, we already know this, guys. It's part of the stuff they've been telling us over and over again for years. That could induce electrical currents deeper into the core via Lorentz forces. And there's a formula at F equals Q, put in parentheses V times B, capital B, parentheses, and that subtly tweaks convection problems. It's like a feedback loop in your speaker system or your microwave or microphone system when you're doing a PA system. We all heard that squeal stuff. Well, that's going on inside the Earth. And so when these people are hearing these weird noises in the earth and in the sky, and they don't know where they're coming from, they sound like squeals and squeaks and scratches and all this other stuff. Well, guys, this is probably could be this solar wind reaching Earth and causing this convection going on in Earth. So all this is all tied together, guys. It really is. So the lessening shield means more solar energy coming in. So of course we've heard an increase in these sounds in the ground, if you want to put it that way, these groans and squawks and squeals, and that's speeding up and weakening everything else. Not only our magnetosphere, but also harming what's creating the magnetic shield, the magnetosphere on our planet. And this would let solar wind drag and add a tiny push to our eventual decline of orbit of the sun. So gravity weakens from the sun, mass loss, magnetic attraction lessens, planets ease further out. It's all connected. Hey, places, what's up? And here we go, guys. Here's a little bit more that's going to tattoo your thinking cap a little bit to keep on with this, because this one really kind of got me. So this is when solar wind meets the magnetosphere. This is where it gets dynamic. The solar wind, fusion-powered plasma, hits Earth's magnetosphere at around 300 to 800 kilometers per second. Day side is compressed to about 10 Earth's radii. We've seen the diagrams on different things like that, everything, how much Earth's magnetosphere is being crushed and everything. Recently, we had one that completely disappeared again, and we could see remnants of it behind the Earth on the trails of the solar winds. And the night side trail is stretched way out. Magnetic reconnection, especially when IMF points south, transferred massive energy up to 10 to the 12th power watts during big storms. That drives auroras, ring currents, and ionosphere heating. Einstein is wrong, and they tried to adjust everything that's out there and make new formulas to make Einstein's theories work. And therefore, it's drove us into a misleading scientific discoveries. So yeah, a lot of you people can start feeling this energy that's lessening of our magnetosphere, increasing the solar winds, the solar particles that's coming in, protons and stuff. You can feel it when you feel heavier, your bones ache, your eyes water more. I mean, your sinuses are all boogered up and everything. You can't breathe good. Oh, wait, shit.
Yeah.
We got a joint.
Hearts hurt.
Yeah, hearts, and everything else like that. This isn't done from the media, Rick. This is done with my own research, being kind of fair and everything, and more or less directed into what I wanted to find out. And, of course, this is pointed research because I wanted to find out certain things, but it is all fact-based is the issue there. Despite what science says or theory says, this is more of something that's closer to the truth, I think, than anything else anybody else put out for a while. Excuse me. Woo. smoke them if you got them. Pardon me for a moment. In a weakening field, that means more penetration of solar particles, solar wind coming into our magnetosphere and striking Earth. And of course, as Paulie mentioned it and Anna mentioned it, we feel it more. It's more stress on our bodies and everybody else's and everything else. And guys, it also stresses our structures too, our buildings, our skyscrapers, our cars, and everything else. All these suffer stress from these incoming influences. More particles reach lower altitudes, more energy exchange. So the lower you are on the thing, the more of that energy you're going to collect as in the lower elevations, is what they're saying. Some theories say this could feedback to the core tiny, but it is cumulative. And if the sun's mass loss is already stretching orbits, enhanced solar wind drag during weakenings could nudge it further, pulling Earth or pushing Earth further and further away. It's not mainstream, but like I say, the pieces all fit. We're past the 5G. We're on to 6G now, Rick. Uh, Everything like that. In fact, some of the new available over-the-counter spy tech is automatically set to the 5G range. So we're already there. We're past 5G now. 5G actually is what they're saying is like what the 4G was to us, or 3G. What are you going to call it? Oh, the LTE was to 5G. So they're kind of fast past that right now. We're into space, Star Trek stuff, even so. So let me read comments back here. Yeah, Einstein is a fraudster, but they had to use him because Einstein was connected to Nazi Germany. Okay, let's point blank say it out. Einstein came from Nazi Germany before they started exploiting on the world. His brother-in-law, Edward Bernays, was the father of propaganda and brainwashing technology that they're using now. In fact, because of his work in psychology field, his brother-in-law, not Einstein. No, wait a minute, I'm talking about somebody else. I'm talking about Freud, excuse me. But Einstein too. He's a Jew that you can't trust. So there we go. You're talking about people being a human antenna they're seeking. Right now, you don't have a choice. Everything we ingest, whether voluntarily or involuntary, is part of this radio system. They got the technology, guys, right now. They don't need cameras to watch you. The stuff is there now where they can read your moods through your brain waves, basically through your television, not through visual means, but through brainwave activity. And they can do this with televisions and phones, remote cameras, these flock cameras and things like that, guys. They have gone well beyond jawbone technology to where they can almost basically read your mind now through your brainwave activity remotely. It ain't solar flares. It's you're energizing the ionosphere, stratosphere stuff with the HARP arrays, and they do have them portable where they can move them around different places. So no, we don't trust any of the previous established scientists at all, Rick. I mean, there's none. I mean, the only reason they're published and established or whatever and recognized is because they played the game with the boys. They're part of the big boys club, and you know that as well. Exactly. So they've learned to do this, guys. They don't need your cameras to monitor you anymore. They just need to be able to check your brainwave activity. So all these things they told people not to wear. They told people that these aluminum foil hats that we started making. Remember, guys, everybody's crazy about those aluminum foil hats and pointing fingers at you, said you was crazy. Well, maybe you're not so crazy anymore. Meaning plugged, your ears being plugged or ringing. Well, it might mean that's something that's exactly, Rick. My right ear's box. Wow, guys, this is crazy. What's going on while this is happening here? Huh? How about that? So anyway, guys, just go ahead. Now we're going to get into theories and conspiracies are part of the end of this. All right. So hang on. I can finally get to smoke my cigarette.
Sorry.
So anyway, there's persistent claims of the artificial sun tech, the simulators, projectors, or the masking the real sun. Now we've seen the patents. We've seen NASA has patents. The United States government has patents. The U.S. military, all 3 of the military units in of the United States has patents on this stuff. Not only does the United States, but of course our enemies, our other countries around the world, also had the same kind of technology. So yeah, we know they have patents on it. Don't know if y'all remember or not, but China sent 3 I don't know what size, but I guess there was a thermonuclear, might have been hydrogen bombs, but they sent 3 of them up and tried to hit Neptune with it. I think it was Neptune. It's one of the gas giants. This was in 2015 to 18, I think. I can't remember the exact year. But they wanted to jumpstart a new sun. Well, that brings into question, why would they want to jumpstart a new sun unless the old one is getting ready to go out? If we had 2 suns, it would tear our planets apart. So if they was going to jumpstart the Neptune or one of the other gas giants into a creating a new sun, well, that means that our old sun is kind of over with. We are definitely being microwaved every which way you can. Definitely reading our minds. Definitely. So we know about the artificial sun, guys. I did research on this in 2017, early part of 2018, and I proved that there was an artificial moon, artificial satellite acting like the moon going through the sky each night. And then suddenly all my research got gone off on YouTube. So in 1960s, guys, they had patents and models of the solar simulator. In the 60s, guys, 1960s. And they was testing this in vacuums on Earth. So, it's not hard to imagine that they done this. They also got these modern LED arrays at Goddard for docking rehearsals, what they say. But we know better than that. Yes, they are in space or above Earth. Let's put it that way. So, but the rumors take it further. So, seeing the videos on TikTok, X, and everywhere else and everything that say massive orbital or Antarctic-based projectors fake the sun's appearance. Now, these are at the equators. The other day, y'all heard me, if you was watching everything, I talked about how they're lying about the ice coverage at the North Pole. I even showed a crack in one of my videos and everything, what seems like a stitch line that they didn't cover that shows packed ice underneath the mask, the overlay that Google Earth uses to hide things. They said there was no space. What's up, John? Sabrina Wallace. What did Sabrina Wallace do, Rick? And they say that these projectors, of course, they fake the sun's appearance, the pulsating color, the shifts from yellow to harsh white, from starting in the 70s, and also they said 9/11. So that might be an also thing to look into about the connection with artificial sun and 9/11, and why all that was needed to distract us from what's going on elsewhere. Now we're going to tie this to geoengineering and the solar radiation management, like stratospheric aerosols or cloud dimming or cloud spraying, and to dim the sun, and of course the chemtrails. theories overlap. Where's my, where am I at here?
No, they're right.
My pages got messed up,
They
guys.
did the other day.
We learned yes and no. We learned it from them, but we also learned some of it on our own. I think the stuff was not meant for what they're using it for now. Saying, okay, yeah, here we go. I'm sorry.
Did you find it?
Yeah. Fuck. I need numbers on my
We
pages
should
from now
number the
on. I
pages.
should have numbered.
Yes, we should have done.
Oh yeah, we've been deceived. Everything we've been taught, everything we know, is basically is a lie. And you know that, Rick. I mean, my gosh, we've had those talks before and everything. Yeah, wait, here we go. I spend more time trying to get my stuff back together than I do talking. Man. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'm back on track. Okay. That's what happens when you smoke good weed, guys, and try to do a live stream, all right? And you got somebody sitting next to you that's very encouraging about smoking more weed. So anyway, we know about all this stuff. We also know that we rely a lot on NASA's SDO satellite for images of the sun. And we know that they manipulate these images that we get from so-called space. As we all know that they do doctors of the image, paint them up pretty, and send them out to the public. And we know.
Yeah, the feeling in the chest, it hurts.
Some claims edited, some claim edited, they're edited to hide anomalies like field switchbacks or incoming objects. You know, we all talked about that. So what if this is a response to the fusion core orbit dynamic? As natural shielding thins, the sun changes, and artificial tech stabilized perception prevents panic. It's speculative, but the patterns are real. The rumors persist. Now, here's the big connector that's all pulling together, guys, that I'm saying that this is all a cycle of event that happens every 4,000 years or so. And that's why they're preparing these doomsday bunkers. And that's why they want to run to the North Pole and the South Pole, because they don't have as much effect on the people and the objects there because of the loss of gravity is lessened at the poles. So when Nemesis comes by, this is a hypothetical, they say hypothetical dark star or red or brown dwarf. And let me get right ahead of here. This was proposed in the 1980s by this guy named Mueller. There's some scientist, I think I can't remember where he's from, maybe German or not. And there's some arrows that explain the periodic extinctions. And y'all all know about these extinctions. Most recent was Noah's flood, which they say happened around 4,500 years ago. So if that's the case, guys, we done lived past this thing. Y'all remember 2012, don't you? Or do you? Do you really remember 2012? Brings into questions. Now, Nemesis comes through and perturbs the Oort clouds, and here's where it gets interesting, guys. Now it starts flinging asteroids and comets and everything else towards Earth. Now, how many times have we heard about these meteor storms or meteor swarms coming in for the past 10 years? Since 2017. Let's go there. Because if record serves me right, remembrance serves me right, guys, that's when Nemesis system made its first pass through our solar system, and it was supposed to make a turn, a U-shaped turn to come back through in the year 2025 or 2026. So if this is the case, and we know that the Nemesis system will carry a bow shock wave of other debris, asteroids, meteors, comets, and everything else, in its forewake as well as its wake behind it, well, we see an increase of these intergalactic visitors. We see an increase of meteor and asteroids coming down on planet Earth. Well, this will lead us to think that this is a very, very strong possibility that Nemesis system is here. And like again, guys, I tell you, go look at Turkey UFO Report on YouTube. They have a lot more images than what I put up a few weeks ago about what's going on, and they show you the proximity and clear imagery of what's going on in the sky. And they fling the clouds towards us. The gravity tugs could amplify the solar wind disruptions and accelerate the core weakening and tweak orbits even more. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump ahead to this new rumor that we've been hearing about, guys. NASA has already come out and said, no, it's not true. So that should send off your spidey senses tingling real quick. Oh, speaking of Gerald Ford, got some information about the Gerald Ford. It's an aircraft carrier, right? They're using technology on that right now that actually puts up a barrier between the ship and the water itself. It's almost like a quarter inch to a less than a half-inch barrier between the water and its hull, and this allows the ship to travel at approximately 100 knots per hour. This was technology that I found out today. I can't really release the source just yet, but I just found out about it this morning, guys, and it's kind of amazing what they don't tell us what's out there. Yeah. What was it?
Underground tank.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it's another.
Red Rings? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, the underground tunnels, guys, that these rich and famous and illustrious and all that are building is all part of this 4,000 year cycle that we're getting ready, that we are starting to go through right now. These are cycles. Every pass ramps chaos, comet swarms, crustal shifts, floods, and this all ties back to Noah's year flood around 4,500 years ago. And then also keeps on going to the word in the beginning when the first people came out from Earth, as it is told on all continents and everything. Remember, guys, Noah's flood was seen all around the world. And the only way to answer this is that during a gravitational shift or a loss of gravity at a certain time, would the waters from all of Earth's sources rise above the air, and then at the end of this certain time period, 7 seconds, whatever, that it would come back down in one cascading flood across the whole planet, flooding everything from view. For how long? Well, around 30 to 40 days. Something like that. Y'all can do the research yourself, guys, and it's all plays out exactly like this. 2040. Yeah, you heard about the cycle. We want to be done by 2030, the new world cycle. So anyway, a comet comes past, pulls up oceans, a comet this says, but we know that the Nemesis system is a solar system. And the water pulls up and it dumps back on Earth. It fractures the crust and the water fades away, then reemerges again. Now there's proof of this, fountains of the deep, that comes from Genesis 7:11. Now, Newton and Winston theorized comets caused it. Global flood myths worldwide back a real event. Now, the 2026 rumor about the 7-second gravity loss. Viral claims of floating chaos, death tied to the Project Anchor NASA survival plan. Now, they say it's been debunked by NASA, but again, Nazi American Space Agency. Ken McLean. But this all fits our narrative, despite what NASA has said and what NASA and the government is pushing across the radio, the TV stations, even social media platforms, that it is debunked, that it is impossible, and there's no way in hell that could happen. So therefore, because of them reinforcing over and over again that it is bullcrap, that we need to pay attention to it even more and more so. You know, NASA never a straight answer, or whatever way you want to put it. there will be a gravitational anomaly echoing ancient events, or ancient resets, even if you want to. The weak core, the solar wind, the cosmic tug, and spikes where gravity feels off. Found out today, guys, there's more and more fields on Earth have less gravity than there used to be. There's some places that the gravity is down over 40% in some areas, I think it was said. Maybe I'm wrong about the number, but it's dropped quite a bit. And it used to be two places, both of them was in the Atlantic, but now more and more of them lessening of gravity in certain areas all over the planet now. So when all this happens and the flood comes back, y'all know we heard Noah's flood, and the giants wiped out, but they weren't, were they? And then we know that there's proof that this area was remembered. There's ancient texts preserved pre-flood antediluvian world as advanced, long-lived, corrupted, and reset by flood. We have biblical references in Genesis 1 through 6. We got Adam lived 930 years. Seth, Enosh, and Enoch walked with God and was taken after 365 years. So we wonder why we have 365 days in a year. Well, right there's your proof. They lived for 365 years. We have 365 days, 365 years. So also, Methuselah lived 969 years, an interesting number, the longest. And Cain line invented cities, herding, music, metalworking, but corruption, sons of gods mingled with humans, and the Nephilim giants filled with violence. And that's Genesis 6:11. And God regrets, if you believe in God, and floods the earth. But of course, we know this again, either using God's wrath to describe or explain away the flooding and natural events that goes on through a cycle of our planet, and our solar system, of our galaxy, and so forth and so on. Quadrants. The book Enoch and the book Watchers for Fallen Angels all teach about the forbidden knowledge, but they led us away from the truth, the real truth, guys, about what's going on. Well, I don't know where this page fit in, but hell with it. Anyway, that's about where it all goes, guys, right there. And this kind of proves my point the other day. And I got a few comments that said, no way, no. And I talked to other people about it, and they said, no, no, no. But in essence, guys, I think I just proved my fucking point that this is an event that will happen, perhaps not on August 12th, 2026, but we're in the cycle, the destruction cycle that happens every 4,000 solar years. And the time period is now. All right, guys.
All right.
Y'all's turn.
Wait, that's right. Yeah.
You go.
Okay.
I want to drink. Well, like you say, Rick, everything's bullshit. And the only thing we got the truth of any kind of knowledge, any kind of truth we have, is that 1 + 1 = 2. And everything from there, off of that, is just theoretical bullshit that someone else tried to figure out. All science is theories. They have facts that base it up, but these facts are shaped by the basic knowledge that Einstein put forth, that E = mc², and that's been proven over and over again not to be the case. So therefore, all science is flawed because the basic truth of science is wrong. Wow. Where'd that come from?
You're getting a lot of downloads.
We watched that TV show about the three body problem a while back. We're getting ready to go through it again. And we found it really cool and everything. I wish I'd go ahead and do some more on it, but it reached its point. And I do believe some of the stuff, guys. I do believe in predictive programming, a lot of stuff. I believe they have to, they supposedly have to tell us the truth over, before they do it. So, yeah, we're seeing the truth now. And I didn't know that, but I believe it. Well, here's the thing, though, Rick. That Carnegie Rockefeller dynasty is done and over with. It's out the door. And that's what I was talking about the other day. A new world order, a new power has come in to take over the former banking empire and running the world that's been in place for what, 800 years, 1,000 years, something like that. At least 400 that I know of. So that's over with. That empire is over with. That control is over with. But there's a new dog on the block. It's still run by the people from Israel through BlackRock and other corporations, and of course through Trump and other allies of his, but still the same show. Y'all do know that, you know, United States talks about they're the badass and they were the ones that won the World War II. And they're the ones that succeeded in beating Japan and Germany and Yugoslavia and Italy and everything like that. But guys, we got to remember who was out there. Now remember, up until a certain point, Japan was whooping our ass. Up until a certain point, Germany was whooping everybody's ass. Okay, they was unstoppable. So if it wasn't for Russia interfering on Germany, Germany would have wiped out Europe. And that's all they was wanting is Europe because they was after a certain thing. But if it wasn't for Russia, Germany would have wiped ass. And in fact, Russia is the one that actually basically won World War II. It wasn't the United States. The other thing is about China, guys. They was on our doorstep, and we already had a thing going on with another country that helped us out quite a bit. And it's somebody that had a bone to pick with Japan, and that's China. The Indo-China War wiped out China quite a bit, and they had a lot of resentment. So the United States capitalized on that after China attacked the United States in Hawaii. That United States went ahead and got with China and had them start messing with Japan on the back door, therefore dividing their forces, dividing their efforts, where they had to spend so much time defending themselves from attacks, repelling attacks, and dealing with China that they didn't have time to put their full effort on the United States. Because if they did, oh, so it'd been the language here. We would have been speaking a Japanese or English based Japanese based English. Rice would have been on the table more often than chicken. So if it wasn't for these two people, these two groups, guys, these two countries, Russia and China, we would be in a different state of things. And so when I tell y'all that we are forming a new world order that's based off a trilateral organization through Russia, China, and the United States, I think maybe we need to start paying attention to that. This is what we're seeing it. They all get along. Rick, you're so weird sometimes. I don't know, man. So there's a lot of stuff, guys, in there, and something I'm got on my mind, guys. I do know there's a connection between the production of energy on Earth and the connection with the solar, uh, the fusion going on the sun. I think without the Earth's placement and the creation of the magnetic energy that Earth creates, the sun wouldn't be burning helium like it is. We are in a place where the sun's energy comes from our energy production, kind of like a symbiotic relationship, because of the production of the energy from the earth spinning the magnetosphere, whatever that energy shooting out, the sun picks it up and uses it to produce fusion and therefore give us heat. I'm getting this spring. I'm thinking about putting some trees out in the backyard. I just got to find them cheap or steal them.
Go to the mountains and dig them out.
I'll probably go steal them.
We're gonna steal them.
Earth goes through a destruction cycle every 4,000 years, and it's reached to a 20,000 year cycle. Guys, it even goes back even 20,000 years, even so forth and so on. So before civilization gets fully developed, where we get to, well, we're prevented from advancing, but before we get to the age where we know what's going on, we're stifled, and then the destruction, the cycle starts over again. And only a few that go underground or hide themselves from the sun. Remember, in the Bible it says you can't hide yourself from the sun. I will know where you're at, whatever. Well, they go underground, and they've done it over and over again because they understand the mathematics, the secret mathematics of the cycles, and what the sun signs are in the skies when it's getting ready to happen. There's no doubt I'm hogging.
No. I was trying. We've got a delay in that TV and a delay in this TV, and I'm on. We've got another minute.
Shit.
We've got 11 watching and 5 participating.
Well, I believed in this, what the church taught. Let's put it that way, Rick. For a long time and everything. I do have spiritual or religious upbringing, so it's kind of basis my fundamental self. So can't blame me for that. Or you can, but it don't work. I know if y'all have noticed this before and everything, that anything we get of looking into the universe, it kind of looks like nerve cells or neural cells. Y'all ever notice that? It kind of looks like the brain cells when they get really close in. Kind of looks like that. Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to see where it went. I don't see it.
So I know y'all noticed it and everything like that. Well, there's an explanation for this, guys. Is that, we're lied to about what the universe is. And I have a thought on this. I'll go ahead and share it with you, whether y'all like it or not. But, this is what I was talking about with deja vu. What's up, Maggie? Everybody remembers, a lot of people have experienced deja vu at one time or another. And so you know that and everything like that. But recently, not too many people are reporting any kind of deja vu. Any kind of deja vu event going on. I haven't heard too many people talking about, wow, that just happened or anything like that. And when's the last time any of y'all have felt a deja vu moment? I mean, seriously, think about it. When's the last time?
And I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's been years. Maybe around 2012 was when you kind of stopped having these deja vu moments. Or they started fading away less and less over the time until around 2018, 2019, you really didn't have any anymore. Well, now, here's a thought, guys. Here's a thought that if deja vu there's kind of quasi proof on this, that if deja vu happens, it means you have interrupted a timeline. Y'all know how the timelines work and everything. Whether maybe you don't, but there's multiple timelines out there, guys. Y'all know that. Multiple dimensions, multiple timelines. Now, what if the universe is just one continuous myriad collection of timelines? And when we have a deja vu moment, actually, we're going into another timeline that we don't finish. And that timeline, when we come back out of it, that timeline continues on for another whatever, forever, until it splits. And therefore, when we look at the universe, like I say, guys, I smoke really good weed. But when we see the universe through the telescopes that they give us and everything, that's why it looks like brain cells, because basically it is. The universe is made up of multiple timelines. It's not made up of a solid mass of anything. And therefore, that's why we get the idea, or we're being told that the universe keeps growing and growing and growing, because timelines keep splitting over and over again through these deja vu moments and things like that. So therefore, the idea that they ended Earth in 2012, like CERN said, is a very strong possibility, and we're living on in another timeline, because after that, not too many people has had deja vu moments. So we'll let that sit there for a minute and let y'all chew on that, think about it for a minute, and give me your comments. The universe is just a mixture of all the different timelines that are, or could be, or has been. And we're being lied to about what the universe really is. I need a rest. There you go. The possibility that CERN did mess up the timelines is a strong possibility. Fermilab, CERN, there's one in Texas, one in Africa somewhere, and of course, it's more in Europe. I wouldn't venture far to say, what's up, Nemesis? Pete? I wouldn't venture to say that Russia and China both have them also. They're easily built, and you can get the parts off of Amazon if you know where to look.
Sorry.
So what do y'all think? What do you think about that idea that the universe isn't a really solid, contained thing, that it's just a mixture of timelines that have been, will be, and are going on at the same time? Therefore, that's why it keeps expanding. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it, man. I've been trying to get my stuff together to do this more and more. That's true. The possibilities are endless, Rick, and that's the thing about these timelines. Uh, anything is possible, and any reality is possible. That's another thing about this deja vu stuff. Are they? No, I didn't see it yet, Pete. I'll look for it later. Hell, I didn't. I don't know. I'll look. Thanks, man. If you shoot my email, well, I'll do it. Here's my email. Wait, what? That way, if I didn't get it, I appreciate it if you could send that to me. Really cool. I got kicked out of philosophy class in college. And they didn't really like my determination about what they were saying. Oh, you sent? Okay, I'll check my Gmail. This is interesting stuff, guys. I do believe that we're being told that the universe is a contained, basically uncontained mass of nothingness or unknown, but in a way it looks more like brain cells, and that's a very strong possibility. Okay, Pete, take care. That's a piece of candy. I threw an ashtray, didn't I?
Here.
I got one.
Here. Oh, my.
I don't know about time stuff. I've heard different things that time doesn't exist and it's imperceptible. We can't really tell what time as time passes. What we experience is just a matter. Somebody said something else, guys, and that humans have been on the earth for a very long time. But they said this, that if we scale it down and everything to a perceivable thing, that Earth has been around what they say is 4.5 billion years. And that if you put humans' presence in that scale, we've only been around for 214 minutes. Scaled down, that we've only been on planet Earth for 214 minutes, scaled down to I forget what it was, maybe it's 4 years, or something like that, or 40 years. I can't remember what it was and everything. But yeah, the age of the Earth is scaled down. We've only been on here for like 214 minutes. That's a crazy number to think, but that's using what archaeology tells us is the truth. But most archaeology only goes back at best 10,000 years now. But we also know that people were here way before that time. Here's another thing, guys, I found out interesting doing some more stuff. Speaking about the gravity, is that if and when this gravity loss goes on 7 seconds and gravity comes back to Earth all at one time, it would not still be the full gravity effect of Earth. We would not still get the uh, full gravity effect back on Earth. We'd only get a partial, like 40 to 50% of our gravity would come back at that time. Of course, we'd lose all oxygen and all atmosphere during this breach, because that's what holds everything together, is magnetosphere. It'd be like a balloon shooting out all this air, and it kind of skirts across the room when you let go of it. Well, we'd get a nudge from that. Anyway, when the gravity comes back, we'd only get 40 to 50% of it. But over the next 7 to 8 years, that gravity will suddenly slam back to the full extent, 100% gravity. And the most people that have survived the first cataclysmic event would be crushed by the full return of full gravity at that time. Right now, we are only experiencing around 80% gravity on planet Earth compared to what we should be, what we used to have. So we're already losing gravity right now. So, but like I say, if we lost gravity all at one time, of course, all the stuff would be flung up in the air. I think it said up to 2 meters, 2.5 meters. But they also will shoot in the rotation of the Earth in a longitudinal line, a straight line. Everything will go in a straight line around 2 miles or so at 8 feet over Earth. Now, if you go 2 miles in a straight line in Earth rotation, I'm not arguing about, we won't go into that, but you'd be more than just 2 feet off the ground or 8 feet off the ground. It'd be more like a half mile off the ground. So when the gravity returns, you'd be free fall for several hundred feet, if not more, straight down after you're traveling 2 miles. And same thing with everything else, including the water and loose rocks and loose buildings and loose cars and these damn slippy slides at the parks. It all comes down to why do we behave like monsters? Is because, according to the Bible, we was created in the image of our gods, the exact likeness of our gods, with their pettiness, their jealousies, and their hatreds, and their loves, and their vices. We are an exact copy of those God or gods that we talk about all the time. That's why we're like we are, It's because we was fucking made to be this messed up. And that's it. So every time somebody talks about we should rise to a higher plane, well, guys, it's like telling a leopard to change into a lion or into a rabbit. Okay? We are created to be this way. We are created to be a duality. And sometimes we let one side of that duality take over us, and sometimes the other. And it's all how you handle it. You got to be balanced. And it isn't about being good all the time, and it isn't about being bad all the time. It's walking that narrow road of balance as best you can. That's my think about it.
Is that the hot one?
No,
Oh.
my throat is raw. I ain't done this in a while.
Wow,
No, I won't get chipped. No, don't want to get chipped at all. Well, it's the same thing, Rick. I mean, when they're talking about the CERN stuff, the same thing about this 5G, the 10G, even the 4G. You know, the only people that needed this extra generation, this next generation stuff, is the powers that be, the governments and the politicians and the corporations. People across the planet didn't frickin' need 4G. We don't need 5G, and we damn sure don't need 6, 7, or 10G. We was happy with LTE, 3G, or 2G, whatever they call, and we was getting along just fine without 4G. And all of a sudden they said, we need it. Okay, because everything would be faster. Well, how fast do you freaking need? So this is all them telling us that we need it when it actually it's them that needs it. We don't need this shit. We don't need the data centers. They do. We don't need them. Sorry, it's a rant.
Yay.
Yeah, Rick, if you are you camping? It's colder than shit right now, dude. Y'all supposed to be down to like minuses this weekend, and
Is he camping?
yeah,
Where?
I don't know where he lives somewhere, I guess.
I get to see replay here.
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. We don't need the 5G, the 6G, or none of that other stuff. We was fine with the lower technology, and we could send messages and pictures and get on the internet just fine with the way things were before all this extra crap. But they sold us a pretty picture wrapped up in a pretty thing wrapped up in a pretty package, and convinced us that we need it. So here we are. Kind of like the way they do everything else, anyway.
Let's go get laid and eat a pizza. Yeah, okay.
What?
Rick said, just go get laid and eat a pizza. Okay.
Who's getting to eat pizza? Who's eating pizza?
He getting laid.
Who's getting laid? What? What am I missing here? Or there's more to life than pizza, Rick. Yes, that's another thing about gravity or magnetism. Uh, and explains why things were bigger back pre-flood time is because gravity was stronger. Gravity was heavier. Right now, guys, like I said, we're around 80%, maybe even less uh, percentage of gravity than what it used to be. So back then, guys, things had to be bigger to survive. You know, if a human lived back in the time of the giants, we'd be squished. You know, the pressure, the atmospheric pressure would squish us. and we wouldn't survive. That's why trees had to be bigger, animals had to be bigger, and giants had to be bigger. It's because that's the only thing that would survive. Your turn.
Take the light. Mm-hmm.
Well, they talk about the density, but you're right, Rick. It's not gravity, it's magnetism. And even that don't fully explain it. So that's the closest we got to it. It's a magnetic attraction of an object to the center of the earth, or non-attraction to the center of the earth that causes things to fall at a rate that they do. Not so much about density. That's why rocks, which is full of crystals, quartz, which is attracted to the core, that's why rocks fall faster. They got a lot of quartz in them, a lot of iron metals, metallics. Now, feather don't.
Feathers or what we call organic. Yeah.
They're not magnetic.
They're nothing. They're hollow. No, they're
Well, yeah, organic.
Right.
Living tissue.
Was.
Mm-hmm.
No, did not.
I've heard about the Earth being plasma too, but maybe not. I mean, any more than it would be plasma, then we would have brain fluid around our brain to keep it from sloshing around and banging up our skull. But I kind of think more and more that it's just timelines. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the truth, Rick. I saw that today. That he said it ain't really proof, and he said I can't explain gravity. I can't explain the attraction, but here it is anyway. Y'all figure it out. He said it's for future generations to find the truth. You ain't doing no Superman thing anytime soon. I still kind of think there's some validity to this thing, guys. I mean, we've already heard about the Earth's core stopping and then reversing, and that would tie into also the Nemesis system also with the iron giant, the red or brown giant or dwarf, excuse me, and it would also interrupt our magnetic shielding and our magnetosphere in the core also. Even if it wasn't the truth, I mean, if we got a magnetic core, a metal core, well, that's going to really booger us up too. So I think there's something to it. I'm making too much noise over the rattling around.
Oh, I can't hear that. You can hear. We can hear it.
Let's call them hollow. I'd like to look into other people's histories, culture, about the different things about the timelines and everything. But I do believe there are cycles. I mean, most cultures, ancient cultures, have the same kind of idea, same kind of story what went on. Oh, I got a little thing for almost everybody here that we might find interesting. Uh, the population birth rate, in order for it to stay stable or continue to flourish, they have to have a birth rate of 2.1. In other words, 2.1 children being born for every older person that dies, because some kids don't make it through. So the birth rate has to be at 2.1 for society or a culture to live. And this also goes across, most demographics as well as racial profiles of people. That all across the board, if a certain group of people their birth rate falls below 2 point, they have to stay at 2.1. If they start falling below that, well, that starts causing problems in production and viability and stuff like that. So the target number that if a culture or a targeted group reaches a birth rate of 1.6 or less, that it becomes unrecoverable for that culture or that society or that group to continue life. It will extinguish itself in a short term through a, I don't know what kind of cycle it is, how long it takes and everything, but eventually they will die out. So, United States has a birth rate right now of 1.58. We've slipped just below 1.5 to 1.58. We have slipped just below the threshold to continue thriving as a culture, as a society. We are below the established necessary birth rate of 2.1 person born for every person that dies, and for them to reach maturity. So, because of that number, we have dropped below that. We are at 1.5 to 1.58 in the United States. Now, I went ahead and checked this out because I have to, because that's the way I am. But I checked out the birth rate of Caucasians across the globe. And guess what, guys? We're soon to be extinct. The birth rate of Caucasian people across the world, across the globe, is 1.52. We're facing our own extinction level event through loss of population, loss of members of a certain demographics or society group. No, I ain't trying to harm anyone. But anyway, guys, that's a shocking number right now that white people are on the way out. We're dying off. So give me your thoughts on that, please. It's kind of interesting and kind of startling numbers, guys, but the facts are the facts. We're becoming extinct. The Caucasian race is becoming extinct. Caucasians make up around 13% of the total global population. Some startling numbers there, guys. It makes us pay attention to things. Huh?
I have both of
I know. I go watch Anna. She disappears. She makes lighters disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're saying that number is short. Some areas they're saying, or several areas, a few areas, put it that way, are saying that number is short. We're closer, if not past 9, right now. And like they say, the population of the United States is 3.4 or 340 million. That number is way off. It's closer to 400 million, if not over. So their numbers, of course, is rounded up and down that suits their estimates and everything like that. You're not flapping your wings, Rick. You got to flap your wings.
Kick your feet.
I don't know why we don't feel it, Rick. I'm not going, want to debate the shape of the Earth, because I could produce a formula right now, guys. I can go back and do the pull out the paperwork and prove to everybody sitting right here that the fucking Earth is shaped like a pyramid. And the sun and the moon spins on mirrors at different heights and different times and everything to show us light and dark. And I can prove this through formulas, diagrams, and even pictures if I have to. So what's to say that one formula, one idea is even better than the other? But yes, I started working on this idea in 2018, guys, and it kind of pulled together a little bit. That the Earth is shaped like a pyramid with a bowl-shaped bottom. That's why everything travels to the center, the equator on planet Earth. All waterfalls south of the equator flows towards the equator. All water in the north equator flows to the south. And there's a reason why. And they tell us that the equator is wider, thicker, or bigger round at the equator than it is at any other place. Then if that's the case, why does all the water run in the direction of the equator? So the Earth is concave, like a eyeglass lens. And we have a dome. Well, damn it, there you go, my pyramid theory again. Damn it, quit doing that.
What?
You destroy my pyramid theory.
Oh, but no, because it goes this way.
What's up, Rick? Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
But if we have a pyramid shape, their dome could keep us capped from reaching up to the sun and keep us blocked in. A pyramid up like this, and a bow at the bottom. And the sun circles around like this, and the moon circles around at a lower orbit faster.
See that?
Like a top. And therefore, north and south is really relative to an idea that they placed strong magnetic anomalies at these certain points to make us think that there's a north and south. And also to help us navigate across the planet, across the globe, or whatever the planet, and keep us from discovering the real truth about the ice walls, that actually there is ice walls, but on the outside the ice wall is nothing. So therefore, due consideration, if the bowl Earth is shaped like a concave bowl, like a fruit bowl, the equator is at the bottom of the fruit bowl, and then the pyramid sits on top of that fruit bowl, coming to a point where the sun and moon sit at different heights and rotate at their own schedules. And that would explain quite a bit. And therefore, disputes and breaks every theory and encompasses it into one small idea, one theory, one small mathematical formula, or actually 4 mathematical formulas that prove this instead of 8 or 10 or whatever else, and fake images and imagination drawings. Therefore, I stand by my proof that I can prove that the Earth is shaped like a pyramid.
When we look out the first,
That's true. Yeah, our compass points have moved more northwest now.
Northwest.
Multi-dimensional, multi-timelines. Within each timeline, there's multiple dimensions. And inside each of these dimensions is multiple timelines. I'm creating a new cosmology, though, Rick. I'm not relying on the old one. I'm creating my own new one with the pyramid theory. That's why the pyramids on Earth are shaped like they are. The shapes on Earth are shaped like they are. Is because it matches our solar system. A pyramid.
There's pyramids everywhere.
Yep. And like Anna says, there's pyramids everywhere. And that's why. It's because they retain the shape of our solar system, our existence. But anyway, it don't matter because we're not getting off this thing in one damn piece, not anytime soon. So whether it's shaped like a ball, a flat plate, a bowl, or a pyramid, or maybe it looks like a damn pretzel. That's another one I have yet to get proof on. But I will work towards proving that the Earth looks like a pretzel with cheese on it and salt crystals.
Yeah, we can't not have salt.
Oh, really? I'll take a look at it, Pete. Thanks, man. And so, guys, you know, I just believe this really good. Oh, we've been on almost an hour and a half. Wow, cool, man.
It's up 12.
Well, hell, since we're gonna stay here for a minute, let me look at the other notes.
All right.
Get my candy back. I'll go ahead and tell you all this, all right? The other day when this storm started coming in and everything like that, Anna was cruising around looking at some stuff, some websites and Facebook. She found a link, followed it out, and found out through a radar source of some kind or another, triangulation or whatever, that this system could have been triggered by an offshore source. And the offshore source was a Chinese ship, a cargo ship sitting a couple hundred miles, maybe more, off the shore of Southern California. And then further researching everything and saw that the storm that's forming in the north, that was also forming in the north, also could be traced back through triangulation, whatever, to another Chinese ship that was up near the Bering Sea. So, and all this started, guys, at almost at the same day, same time, or not same day, same time frame, and causes major storm that hit the United States, and the one that's continuing to hit the United States. That there is two, if not more, of these weather manipulation ships in the Pacific Ocean, causing the anomalies going on right now. And Anna's the one that followed us out and traced it down and everything, showed it to me and everything. And I thought it was really cool that, you know, maybe we need to start looking, excuse me, further out and find out what the cause. Everybody wants to point their fingers at certain people or certain companies or uh, government groups that's causing this weather manipulation here in the United States, but it actually could be traced to China. China was heavily involved in Venezuela, and when we set up the blockades around Venezuela and also around the Cuba, we have cut off China from Venezuelan oil, and they need it. So, in turn, because of this, China, of course, in retaliation, froze us. They set up a big superstorm that hit 3/4 or 2/3 of the United States and put 2/3 of the United States under ice storm, ice and snow. Some places got, excuse me. Oh. So, yeah, this is in retaliation for Venezuela and other things like also too, guys. Uh, we cut China off from the major supply of oil that they want and that they need. Of course, the other supply is coming from Russia, and that might be interfered, as we all know about the things going on in Ukraine and the surrounding area, that interruptions in oil supply coming out of Russia. So with these two things going on, guys, China is starving for oil. And we're heard that Cuba is already cut off from oil, and their infrastructure, their electrical and communication infrastructure is basically dead. They're running out of electric. They have shut down power plants, and their fuel supply for running generators is almost gone. Pretty soon, Cuba will be powerless to do anything against any kind of influence from another country. Well, we're just looking at the surface about the concave or the shape of the planet, but you know, the shape of the planet isn't just right here at the surface, it's deeper than that. Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see,
What? What? See?
I spelled PF. See, some of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's spelled wrong. Like
I get it.
Barbara.
7 feet. Yeah. A retaliation, that figures, yes. So we do have a tit for tat on a smaller scale, but like I say, guys, all three of these countries are working in collusion, if you will, for the new world order, a new form of the new world order, and it's going to be run financially through BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, and a couple other capital, something other investments. That's the ones that are going to be running it. Yeah, some of those snowdrifts is AI. They come out and admit it and everything. And the news agencies, the major news agencies, was carrying this as evidence of a major snowstorm in Russia. And the truth of some of the snowdrifts were only like 15 feet or 7 feet, wasn't it, or something like that. And these images of people sliding down, skiing, and digging their cars out and walking through the tunnels.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Not a bit of it happened, guys. Uh, It's just not there. If you look on Google Earth, guys, even for the most recent purchase, there ain't no snow up in these places like that. It's all bullcrap, or they're lying about the imagery. So, there's something going on, but they did not get these major 1,500 or 20-foot. Well, that's the thing about the new world order. The old new world order, the one that they was promoting, was going to be based off the Rothschild, the Queen's family, and church, the Roman Catholic Church. Well, because of the death of the Queen, Jacob Rothschild and this other Rothschild in Los Angeles, and the daughter or the sister, they're all gone, guys. The whole family, Rothschild family, is over with. And that left a gap in a vacuum in who's going to manage this. And that's where BlackRock and all these others come in. It's a corporate thing instead of a family thing. And it isn't connected to the church, except, well, Church of Israel and the Bank of Israel. But it isn't connected with the old guard, the old style of the uh, New World Order. We got a new world order. Yeah, we're going to digital currency, guys. Don't think that we're not. No, this has been talked about since 2016 that we're going to go to a digital currency, and it was first supposed to be silver backed currency, and that's why all the national banks, all the banks around the world, including the central bank, started buying up all the gold certificates, gold reserves, and silver certificates, and silver, all the paper silver, and silver futures. And so that went on for a while, guys. That's why silver stayed low price for such a long time, is so these banking empires could buy up all the silver. Is because the new digital currency was going to be backed by silver because gold was gone. We don't have reachable gold in the earth anymore. It's very, very deep, very hard to get to. And that goes into another story. But because of that, they sort of going to switch away from a gold backed and a crypto or a fiat based currency because that system's old. Every 100 years they have to switch. And because of that, we're switching over to a silver backed cryptocurrency, supposedly. Well, somebody messed with the numbers on the silver market and everything shot up like crazy. And the numbers were manipulated falsely and the bottom fell out, as y'all heard. Maybe you didn't heard, but the value of gold and silver dropped around 40%, 41% in one day. And I think it's still dropping right now. Hey, Maggie. So.
She's been here.
And so we know the market manipulation went on, and that's why the bottom dropped out. And the banks got caught holding worthless paper again. And this is all organized or stratified by guess who? The New World Order, which is BlackRock and Larry Fink. Well, of course, yeah, religion and all that stuff has been hijacked by different factions and different groups throughout our history. And the real truth, guys, we don't know the real truth. All right. And just point blank right here, guys. I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, we really could not handle the truth. And that comes from the very heart of me, guys, and thinking about things. If they told us the actual truth of where we come from, why we're here, what we're destined for, and all this other stuff, the real truth about everything, well, we would just shatter. We would be crushed to complete, and we couldn't handle it, guys. We'd fall apart. And I do believe this fully with all intention in my heart, being honest with people, that I don't think we can handle the truth. And that's it. And that's why they want us to keep it from it. And also, if we knew the real truth of everything beyond the veil, we could ascend to other levels, whatever, and everything like that. But because we're human, because of the way we are, if we was released to a higher realm, to a higher level, to a different dimension, guys, whatever it is that we're supposed to be reaching, well, we'd fuck it up too, like we did Earth. Okay, plain and simple. Because of the way we are unable to be civilized in other societies more advanced than us. We're like a bunch of 5-year-olds with paintbrushes and different colors of paint running around all the world, all over the place, fucking painting everything and screwing it up. So until we get past that part where we act like monkeys with half a brain, well, then we can advance. But until then, we need to be controlled, just like 5-year-olds need to be put on a fucking leash.
You know what I don't see? I don't see your banner. I guess because it's a small screen.
Oh.
Yeah. Your proud deplorable flag is wait. See my the screen?
Yeah, it's not there.
Well, it's above everything.
Is it? Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Just go scroll up there, Anna. We have a motto in this house, and it applies to me. It's either keep up or catch up. Well, no, okay. We deserve to go extinct, yes, because of the behavior we put forth. But are we really, really responsible for the paths we've taken because we was led down these paths? Right there is my point exactly, Pete. We are kept from advancing because they don't want us to because that serves their purpose. Like the gods, these entities or people, whatever, they live off of our energy, whether it's good or bad. And it's easier to produce negative energy than it is to produce positive energy, especially with fucked up half brain monkeys. So they produce negative energy because it's easier, it's cheaper, and therefore they feed off of it, just like the entity called gods. They feed off our energy, whether it is positive or negative, but it's one form or the other. They live off our energy, our love, or whatever. And that feeds them just like the nectar of the gods or the adrenochrome comes from us through fear. And therefore they keep producing this fear, anxiety, stress, and discord, and it feeds them. It suits their purpose. And we're just here to suit their purpose. Yeah. Watch the invasion of the body snatchers from 19 whatever it was with Donald Sutherland. Watch that one again with new eyes.
They live.
Yeah, They Live is a good one, man, to watch again and everything. And there's so many movies out there, guys. They was telling us stuff in the way back days that we just thought that was cool science fiction
wave.
and stuff like that. Huh?
The Fifth Wave.
The Fifth Wave is another one, but that's more recent though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, And if you go back and watch the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, implying it and apply it to the idea of people being on medications, most people in the United States and in Western societies on one form of medication, mood altering medication or another. Well, we'll see an idea of what these pods in the invasion of the body snatcher is. It's your addiction or people's addiction to different things, even your cell phone or devices.
2016. With
Fifth Wave, 2016. Yeah, that was a good one too. 2025. Yeah, that's kind of the way it sounds like it happened, isn't it, Pete? They might be a couple of years off. And remember also, guys, this heritage, excuse me, the Heritage Foundation, which is one of the sponsors and promoters of Trump, and his handler, one of their handlers, is there in the White House with Trump, was promoting this agenda or Project 2030, which coincides with a lot of this other stuff that's been going on. And while we're in a headlong crash to make it to 2030. I've also found out I was wrong about where the atomic clock was, that it's located in New York City. And got me thinking, guys, that they can manipulate the atomic clock. And since all our clocks in the world, your cell phones, your computers, your car, and everything else is actually controlled or synced with the atomic clock, all they have to do is speed up the atomic clock just a little bit to have all the clocks in the world going just a little bit faster. And therefore, the day seems like it just goes a wee bit faster. How many of y'all hit one, if you will, if y'all have noticed that it seems like time has sped up quite a bit in recent years? Gotta take a break. I'm talking too much. So all they have to do is have the atomic clock sped up, and then the day goes just by a little bit quicker. The TV programming, our news stories, our clocks, our watches, our phones, our everything is set according to this atomic clock, and therefore it would seem like everything's speeding up. I mean, even sunlight and sunset doesn't seem right in the same times. Even our seasons seem to be off now. Guess what, guys? We saw springtime birds flying outside of our window last week, right before the storm. So, explain that. They don't usually show up till March, and yet here it was into January, and they were showing up.
And what did he do? He made a little hole in the snow.
We had one bird that made a tunnel in the snow to have a place to stay out of the weather. It picked out a tunnel, not just a little cup. It went way back 4 or 5 inches, guys. Really? Wow, man. I'm sure it's either something in atmosphere frequencies, or it could be both. With all that stuff falling in the air, guys, we're saturated with metals and everything else. Thinking about this, guys, for a moment, since we are saturated with these metals, these barium, strontium, aluminum, and all this other stuff, mercuries and everything else, guys, we're full of metals. You know that. So we know that 5G is it's a frequency, right? It's a microwave, right?
Yes.
Now, what happens when you put metal in a microwave?
Boom.
And yet, we are full of metals. and they're saturating our atmosphere with microwaves, and they keep increasing over and over again exponentially the frequency. 6G now, pretty soon we'll be at 7 or 8G. Each one of these is not just an amplified power, it's a generation, which means advancements beyond whatever we might know about. So each one of these is a generation and newer and better and more improved and deadlier, if you will. So pretty soon, guys, we'll be walking around like we're feeling like we're in a microwave, if you don't eat already. So when you go outside and you feel like the sun's really super hot, burning your skin, and you feel like you really got superheated, it may not be the sun, it may be the microwave frequencies that's saturating us, and that we're full of these metals from the atmosphere. So, when they tell us what they're doing, guys, we know that these frequencies are microwaves and these flock cameras and these all this other stuff. We're just saturated with microwaves from daylight to dawn. And and we know that we're full of metals. So it's not hard to imagine what's going on. And then when they start sticking people with these needles full of this experimental stuff, they had graphene and other stuff in it. Well, and then people kind of expired after this. It's not hard to imagine why. Well, yeah, you're right, Rick, about that. We ain't gonna never figure it out. We can only pick apart what we know and what we know to look at. And here's the thing, like someone said, once you start going down these rabbit holes or these pathways seeking or finding stuff, it's an endless thing. You can keep going and going and going, and you'd be wrapped up in, ate up with it until that's your entire existence is you're there. That's your whole existence. So we can't do that. We got to live and have, like Anna says, her sign on the house in the living room. It's a live, laugh, and love. And so that's what you got to do, guys. But we need to know, or at least it's a good idea to know what's going on and the why. Half of fear, well, almost all of fear is about not knowing what's going to happen next. And that's what I want to do is tell everybody what I think, what I see, what's going on, where we're going from here. That way, the shock of it uh, isn't as traumatic, isn't as strong as it would be. It's like going to school the first time versus going to school the next year. Okay, it's still kind of shocky, but you kind of know what's going to happen. So therefore, it isn't as traumatic as it is that first day of the first grade. So knowledge helps ease the shock of anything that's going on. Well, a brave man without fear is a fool. Is that not right? What's up, Steve-O? Yeah, a brave man without fear is a fool. They don't last long anyway.
It's small. That's all we have. That's
Gosh,
all we have.
this
We
one
kind of
been.
did good.
How long's it been?
19 minutes, so see, we did good with my
3 hours.
Well, we did one by
Anyway, what's this do? Open the panel over here.
What's that? No, I tried to open it. You're already got.
I'm already doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
No description. Hearts. You ain't doing that. Who's doing that? Faces.
I'm not doing it.
Somebody played.
Someone's sending you something.
Yeah.
What are they?
I don't know. I saw hearts
Okay,
and then
you
faces. Yeah.
100%. You've got
Yeah, the top two.
wow, and
Yeah,
like
the top
a
two.
party thing, and
That's
a
cool.
smile and a heart.
What's Platermic?
Huh?
Platermic. What's that?
I don't know.
Well, there's no end to rabbit holes. That's the thing. They just keep looping around each other. Some of them connect, some of them don't. And the more you dig, the more you find. The more you find, the more you dig. And it's like being addicted to chocolate. So here's the thing, guys. These rabbit holes are there to keep us going one direction, to keep us from knowing the full extent of what's out there. I do believe this. So when you start down a rabbit hole, say about Epstein, how long are you gonna spend in there till you find out that it don't end? How long are you gonna look till you find out you just keep looking and looking and looking? You gotta, figure that out for your own self. So it's just step back and look at the whole picture of everything. A lot of people on these channels and everything, they look at one specific part of what's going on. They don't look at the big picture. And that's a shame because that limits them what they can do.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh,
Someone is telling you 100%. They're agreeing with you. Yes.
Yes. Cool.
Yes.
The snake eating its own tail. Yeah, we're in an endless loop of rabbit holes. And the thing is, guys, to see what's going on, you need to take a big picture of all of it, step back and look at it, and you kind of see the whole scheme and the whole plan.
My didn't come. It was supposed to go to seeking. She's pretty high.
Oh.
So we were also high.
Yeah, well, fuck yes, we're high. When aren't we? I'm sorry, guys.
We are abused.
Yeah, this recent Epstein release and everything, it was a bunch of, and again, guys, I don't want to spend too much time on this Epstein crap, but here's the layout, guys. Even if we find out each and everybody's involvement and each and every incident of their involvement, what they said, what they did, how much they paid, how much they got paid, or whatever, if we get all this information laid in our lap and told us to do what we want to with it, what the hell are you going to do with it? Except point your finger and say, I said, I know, I know, I know. So this whole thing about Epstein stuff is really a big bunch of distraction. Has been from the start and continues to be so because overall, nothing will be done about it, just like always, except a lot of people pointing their fingers and fussing about it. Don't look up. We got these movies. Guys, if you don't have Kodi, that's Kodi, on a device for you to watch movies, I suggest you get it in any as soon as possible. You will watch any movie you want to free at any time you want to free. It's Kodi. You can watch up YouTube tutorials on how to download it, but it works on any device: iPhone, Mac, Linux, Android, and Windows, and several other platforms like that, guys. So it will allow you through the information and everything that you can watch any damn movie. So anyway, speaking of this, we find these specific movies like Don't Look Up and Civil War and things like that, guys. We save them and we watch them and pick them apart like a damn critic or something like that, and we find this information that's hidden in there, symbologies and things like that, that really tells us a lot what's going on. And of course, we know that a lot of these movies are made from Netflix, and the Obamas used to run Netflix, but they don't anymore because Palantir, guy that runs Palantir, bought Netflix from him. And I think they got Disney too, but I'm not sure on that. But yeah, the Obamas don't have Netflix anymore.
I thought I was typing in the wrong area.
You're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Well, I'm going to give y'all something to think about, and we're getting ready to stop now because I'm getting run out of voice.
2 hours.
Uh, you know, we got the idea about gravity and gravitational waves and how it affects our everyday living, you know, magnetism and all that stuff, gravitational waves and all that stuff, and how it affects us, it affects the sun, our magnetosphere, and everything else, guys, even our position in the solar system and the galaxy and everything else is affected by gravity or magnetism, attraction or retract or uh, repelling. So, but an idea, guys, came to me listening to some people talk earlier, is that maybe gravity, magnetism really doesn't exist at all. That this idea about magnetism, about gravity, the reason why we can't see it, we don't really feel it, you know, again, because it don't really exist, is because it is nothing more than a light frequency. Anyway, that's about all I got, guys, for right now. I appreciate everybody coming in there and hanging out with me. It's been a blast. I've done this for a very long time, and hopefully I can do it again. That's right. We're going to start trying to do this a little bit more, getting to where we can do a little bit more and everything like that. So, yeah, look forward to it, guys. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. Y'all come, just leave a comment, give a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it very much. It really would be helpful. And leave a comment, recommend it, share it with people, whatever you got to do. But y'all have a groovy day. And as always, do something nice for somebody, reach out to somebody. A friend of the channel right now, guys, is having a really, really hard time. And so if you got prayers or good thoughts, just keep that person in mind. I know I'm not going to give out no names because they're very sensitive about this. But, you know, just the specific person I have in mind, I appreciate if y'all could send good vibes toward them. They could really use it. Y'all have a groovy day. Later, taters.